There's a SpongeBob episode I want to talk about today. It's from season 6. It's called Not Normal, and it features SpongeBob becoming, well, trying his best to become quote unquote normal. And then we kind of see what ensues because of that. There's an important lesson to be learned here, so I hope you'll stick around for that. But without further ado, welcome to the Stoic Sponge, lessons from SpongeBob, rooted in biblical and Stoic principles. So sit back and enjoy my hopefully entertaining rendition of the plot. And like I said, I hope you'll stay tuned for the lesson. The episode opens with SpongeBob being admittedly pretty obnoxious, singing a song outside to the point where it wakes, well, I don't know if it woke up Squidward or not, but as I said, he was being obnoxious. And Squidward explains to him that there's normal people and then there's you. And you should look into becoming more normal. There's a host of issues with that. Who decides what normal is, and is it something that you should strive to be? It all depends. SpongeBob takes it to heart, and he's like, "Oh man, yeah, I got craters and a weird nose or something, and I should become more normal." So he buys a disc, or I'm sorry, VHS. I can't even remember what it was, but he buys a little lesson video that he plays on his TV of how to be normal. And the guy goes through step-by-step process. He's like, asks him specifically, he's like, "Oh, do people say you're not normal and throw you out of their house?" And that's exactly what happened to SpongeBob. And so that very day, or maybe it was the next day, SpongeBob at work, he's in a cubicle now. He has an office instead of using a grill. And he starts talking differently and asking different types of questions. Squidward is kind of taken aback and he is skeptical, to say the least. He's like, this is weird. SpongeBob talking like, "Oh yeah, wonderful weather we're having. How are you?" I mean, he didn't stutter like that, but in any case. And with each day, SpongeBob becomes increasingly, I'm doing quotes here, and since you can't see it, I have to say it every time, quote unquote normal. And, he's becoming more rounded, and he is losing his craters in it because he's a sponge. And then, like, his shoes are different. And literally, his house, I think in a matter of a day, his house was different to become more, normal, with the air quotes. Now, of course, as this happens, Squidward becomes less skeptical and then warms up to SpongeBob's new normal personality. And SpongeBob gets Squidward's approval, to say the least, and I guess the idea there is to not seek the approval of others. Seek God's approval, but apart from that, well, and even your own, I guess. Don't live in a way that's contrary to what you ought to be doing. Keep your own word, stuff like that, but don't be just living for other people's approval, because then you'll basically become them, and you were never supposed to be them. I can't tell you how often I hear people talk about, "Oh, but on Instagram, did this, whether this family member or this friend or what have you, is their life looks so great and so wonderful." It's like, okay, for one, that's fake. Social media is fake. It says on my Instagram, introducing my fake reality, because that's exactly what it is. You just put the highlights there on average. But even assuming someone's life is perfect in your book, you're not supposed to be them. So why would you fret over they have it so good? You're not supposed to be them. So stop trying to be. As SpongeBob continues to be, act normal, and work in his office space instead of with his grill, his work suffers because of it. He's printing off Krabby Patties instead of making them. And, initially, maybe you could argue, oh, it's more effective because he can print them off. But yeah, but it's not even a sandwich he's making, or a burger, or whatever. It's not even a patty. It's paper, as I said. And so yeah, it's like, if you try to be someone else, your work, your life, and therefore others are gonna suffer because of it. And suffer doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, they're gonna be in physical pain, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's interesting even that SpongeBob looks different as he began acting different. And I think it is, well, not only I think it is the case that you become your friends in large part, but you also become your habits. Your habits essentially make up who you are. In large part, you get to decide who you are, which is both an encouraging thing and a frightening thing. SpongeBob, as I said, literally looked different on account of the habits he adopted. And as you progress later in the episode, he ends up going to a professional in terms of becoming weird again. See, that's the contrast I don't necessarily agree with here. It's either you're normal or you're weird. It's like, well, I don't think you should specifically strive to be either normal or weird. Just try your best and pray for God's help to most effectively. I read this recently and I can't get it out of my head. The prayer is, show me the shape that my strength should take. There's something within you that's, again, intrinsically you. It's the better aspects of your personality and your character. I can't tell you how often I I think of that song. It says something about, you don't need to change the thing, the world can change its heart. And it's like, well, that depends. Who are we talking to? Are we talking to someone that is trying their best to be their best selves and is trying to, as SpongeBob says in the episode, oh, I smoothed out the rough edges of my personality. I wouldn't say he did that. He just became someone that would earn the approval of Squidward. But no. I think you should do that. You should smooth out the rough edges of your weather personality or the tendencies you have that are not productive. If you're pretty agreeable, then you need to gain the ability to be disagreeable if you have to, when you have to, because you will. If you're disagreeable, then you need to gain the ability to not be a jerk to everyone, right? So yeah, smooth out the rough edges of your personality, definitely. But yeah, again, back to that song. It's like, my concern with the song is there are probably a lot of people that listen to it that aren't doing their best to be good people. They're like, yeah, the world needs to change their heart. I don't need to change a thing. It's like, well, maybe you do, bro. Maybe you do, bucko. So always embody humility in that way. But yeah, I mean, that's basically the main point is with this episode. SpongeBob was trying to become and even successfully became someone that not only was he not, like that's just not him, but by becoming that, the slot that he previously filled as the only person that can fill the slot of being SpongeBob, he wasn't that anymore. And so again, his work suffered because of it. His, he wasn't able to connect with his friends. And even the people that he now was trying to earn the approval of, like Squidward, he couldn't even successfully get along with him because, and this is easy to do, there's another idea, is be cautious that as you better yourself in one way or another, you don't become overly critical of others. Of course, you'll care about others and their well-being, especially as you develop your character more and grow in selflessness and care, because again, you care about them and hope that they make good decisions. But regardless of the decisions other people make, try to not let it get to you. Do the most good that you can by focusing on developing yourself and lending a helping hand to those who will receive it, and praying that by your good example, people will, I guess, follow in that. But yeah, again, it's like SpongeBob. It's the person that told him become this way. When SpongeBob became that way, it didn't even work. It's like Darth Vader, joining the dark side so he could save Padme. It didn't even work. So make sure what you're striving for is even attainable. If you're seeking to do good and to love others, you can always succeed at that because it's within your decisions. I always bring up the quote, but it's always relevant. Love is never wasted. Its value does not rest upon reciprocity. So yeah, love and work and do, I guess, just live your whole life in the way that you are confident is the best way that you can. If that means adjusting things with your daily habits, then do it. If it's in the realm of becoming more productive or better at serving. But if it's just to earn the approval of others, then stop with that. You only need God's approval, and I guess your own is beneficial too. Like I said, stay true to yourself in an actual sense of, if you say you're going to be disciplined, then be disciplined. I'm tired of this Disney version of stay true to yourself and just have fun or something. It's like, well, what do we actually mean by that? Stay true to yourself. Yeah, I agree. Keep your own word and live up try your best to always live up to the ideals that you preach and that you know you ought to. Well, I sincerely hope that this helps you in one way or another, so apply today and wherever and whenever applicable. If you don't know Christ, there's no better day to meet him, begin a relationship with him, accept him into your heart than today. It says in the Word that if you confess with your mouth, believe in your heart that Jesus is Lord, that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. And as I said, there's no better day to make that decision than today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos and watch previous ones. If you enjoyed this one, then I'm sure you'll love the other ones too. And remember to treat others the way that you want to be treated, to love God and to love your neighbor. Therefore, you will be your best self. Once again, thank you for watching, and as always, it's an honor.